Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here for this Monday severe weather update. I'm ABC 10 meteorologist Brendan Minchev. It is off to a slow start, to say the very least. The radar is a little bit active at this point. We do have some showers. We've had a few stronger storms, but nothing that's met the severe criteria just yet. Let's run you through where we're at, and we've got the very latest here from the Storm Prediction Center. So we still have a level 2 slight risk for the valley, but they've lifted that slight risk from Modesto, where it was this morning. Now it is just to the north of Stockton, close to the San Joaquin Sacramento County line there. So again, right about there is where that level 2 risk begins, and that pushes on up north all the way towards about Redding. So Sacramento still in this, Yuba City, Chico. Really the slight risk now is just for the Sacramento Valley and not the San Joaquin Valley. That level 1 has worked back in now and includes the San Joaquin Valley, but has been pulled out of the Delta area. This is because things have kind of been changing as we've gone through the late morning, early afternoon here. So with storms that form, we can still see the potential for lightning and heavy rain. Obviously, those would be the two most common factors. But we could also see the potential for some strong winds, some hail, which we've seen a fair amount of pea-sized hail out of these stronger storms already today. And the other thing is that funnel cloud and tornado risk, which I would admit seems to be kind of dwindling a little bit, but it is still there. There's enough spin, enough instability in the atmosphere that we could absolutely see some funnels and maybe even tornadoes in the valley today. So much like that slight risk that we saw was now lifted to only include the Sacramento Valley at this point. Same deal with the 5% tornado risk. So that's a 5% probability of a tornado within 25 miles anywhere in this brown shaded area here, which if you're in somewhere like Texas, Oklahoma, the Great Plains, the kind of Dixie Alley right along the Gulf Coast, 5%, maybe not all that much for a severe weather day. But for here in Northern California, that's about as high as it gets, is that 5% risk. 2% risk down for the San Joaquin Valley. But the risk that we saw out in the Delta, kind of pushing towards the Bay Area a little bit, is no longer there. Still have a hail risk, though, and this is probability of 1 inch plus hail within 25 miles of a point. That's for both the San Joaquin Valley and the Sacramento Valley. Again, 5% risk, and also kind of similar lines. If you're in Texas, if you're in Oklahoma, Dixie Alley, along the Gulf Coast, the Deep South, and then kind of working your way up through the Great Plains, the traditional Tornado Alley, again, 5%, might scoff at that. But for here, doesn't get really any higher than that. So the timing of the severe weather potential is now through about sunset. Once we get to sunset, we lose the extra warmth that the heat of the day provides, that the sun provides, and the instability really starts to taper off, right? And the atmosphere becomes a lot more stable because we don't have that heating from the sun anymore. The impacts that we can see, like we just talked about, hail, likely pea-sized, maybe a little bigger. We probably don't get to the severe criteria hail, which is that 1 inch, but pea-sized hail, small to medium-sized hail, absolutely possible. Wind gusts out of these storms that form, very likely to see. Again, maybe we don't get to the severe thunderstorm criteria, which would be 58 miles per hour or greater wind gusts, but certainly with the storms that form, we're going to see that wind pick up even more than everybody else. That still is going to see wind, but not quite that strong. And then the tornado risk, which in the Sacramento Valley remains the same as it was. In the San Joaquin Valley, I think that risk has been walked back a little bit because we just haven't quite seen the storms forming down in the San Joaquin Valley. The activity really has all been in the Sacramento Valley so far. But anywhere that we see rain and the storms today, urban and roadway flooding absolutely possible. We saw about 1.5 inches of rain across the Sacramento Metro yesterday for Sunday, and that did cause some ponding on roadways, some clogged drains, and so we've already had some of that urban flooding. So anything else we get on top of that just going to exacerbate that situation. But what to do today, if you are going to be out and about, you got to be weather aware. Always know what the forecast is. Have a way to get those severe weather warnings if and when they happen, because what we're seeing today is not a gradual like forming of storms and they just kind of move through. What we're seeing is these storms pop up and they start to drop a little bit of hail. They got some really heavy rain, then they kind of weaken. So the peak of the storms is really only maybe 10, 15 minutes after they form. So you're not going to get a lot of lead time with some of the stronger storms that we're seeing. Here's that low pressure spinning off the coast closer than it was before sunrise this morning. That first round of rain and snow already halfway through the state of Nevada, but for us, the second round of rain and snow later on today, is starting to push in. So let's take a look at radar a little bit. We'll start up in the northern Sacramento Valley. We do have a special weather statement. A stronger storm formed near Willows and has been moving really right along I-5 up to the north, just to the west of Chico. For a time, there was a little bit of rotation in this storm. Never looked really well defined, never looked like it was going to produce anything significant. There was some small hail with it, some strong wind gusts. So you see 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts with the storm. Wouldn't it surprise me if we end up seeing that a funnel did form, if we can get a report from on the ground there, just because there was enough rotation, but it never looked like it was going to be anything serious up there. A little further south now, back down in towards our neck of the woods, we see Sacramento, Elk Grove, Stockton, Modesto, and then up into the Sierra. We do have some snow showers continuing this afternoon. There's really nothing that jumps out at you. We've had some heavier showers, we'll say. We just haven't had the thunderstorms developing just yet, which all the ingredients are there. We had a little bit of clearing this morning, which that warmth from the morning hours when we got that sun sent us up into the 60s. By the time we got to 10 o'clock this morning, that was good news, helping to prime the atmosphere for storm development. But we just haven't seen it yet. We also got the wind shear. We've got the instability in the atmosphere. All the puzzle pieces are here. Just Mother Nature right now is having trouble putting the puzzle together, even though she's got all the pieces. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We've got a lot of showers, not much else. Snow showers up in the Sierra. We do have some stronger showers down in the foothills. We've had a few stronger showers out near Davis, down towards Elk Grove for a time, and up towards Lincoln. But at this point, at 12:45 p.m. on a Monday afternoon, it's just showers right now. But I can't stress enough that the severe risk is still there. So even if we see showers for the next 2.5 hours and we get right around 3:30, we get a thunderstorm that pops up, goes severe, we got large hail, damaging winds, maybe a funnel. That's all it takes. It just takes one storm, one cell to pop up just when you think it's not going to happen. So that's why it's important to be weather aware until the threat has passed, and really that will happen once the sun goes down. You do notice we've got a little bit of a line of storms here. I can't even say storms, line of heavier showers that kind of runs all the way from Merced up towards Sonora, towards the Angels Camp Arnold area, just to the east of Jackson, and then up towards Pollock Pines. A little bit of some sort of barrier that we've got going on, an atmospheric barrier that maybe kind of is helping to lift those storms, and that's where we're seeing them form right now. But it's just not clicking for us down in the valley locations. We'll take a look at Futurecast. This is the rapid update graph model, the IBM weather model. And you can see what I notice here, I'll just point this out, is it's also picking up on the that kind of boundary, that barrier, whatever you want to call it. I could call it a boundary that we're actually seeing in real time, kind of more from Merced up through the foothills into Pollock Pines. This is where we're actually seeing the boundary, but what it looks like is the model is actually figuring the boundaries a little closer to Sacramento, a little further to the west. And that's what we see because we're seeing some of that entrainment there. But we still see, as we go through about 2 o'clock, some stronger storms in the foothills. And we see more popping up. And this is the point that I really want to hammer home. Just because we're not seeing it on radar now doesn't mean we're not going to see it. Because 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and even in towards about 5 o'clock, we've got that chance for severe storms. So even though we may not see it 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we do. And the models continue to pick up on the fact that we see these storms pop up as we go through the afternoon. So every point this afternoon, we're likely going to see more showers and even some of these becoming thunderstorms. So this is 3 o'clock now, and you notice we got a storm up here near Pollock Pines and Placerville, down here near Sonora and Angels Camp and Murphy's, another one just into the foothills there. Another storm out near Vacaville Fairfield, one north of Woodland. This may not be exactly what it looks like because the models have not done a terrific job today of predicting exactly what the radar is going to look like. But the point that we're kind of extracting from this is the bottom line, right, that point, we're going to see things pop up going through the afternoon. So again, got to be weather aware, got to have a way to receive those warnings. Once we get past sunset tonight, we don't see those thunderstorms anymore. This is 9 o'clock. We still have some heavy snow in the Sierra. We still have rain in the foothills, and we still have pockets of heavier rain, maybe some embedded thunder out in the coastal range. And we're going to keep a rain chance overnight. But really that severe weather chance with the hail and the wind and the funnel clouds and tornadoes, that is this afternoon before sunset. After sunset, that severe chance really goes away. If you see a tornado or a funnel, there is a difference. Now, they both are rapidly rotating columns of air. But the difference is a tornado actually makes it to the ground. So in order for a funnel to become a tornado, it has to be in contact with the ground. Usually there'll be a little debris cloud near the ground that's visible that you can see that really says, hey, this is on the ground, right? A funnel cloud stays just beneath the base of the cloud there. It never comes in contact with the ground, and it does not ever cause any damage. That's a funnel. If it causes damage, it's touching the ground, that means it's a tornado. So again, we may see these this afternoon in some of these storms, especially from Sacramento to the north. In the Sacramento Valley, I think that's our best chance for seeing some funnels tonight or this afternoon. So if you see this and it's not touching the ground, it's a funnel, you can call the weather service. You can post to Twitter or Facebook, tell the weather service you saw a funnel cloud. If it touches the ground or looks like it's touching the ground, you can report it as possible tornado there. Now, the weather service post-event, right? So say we got a tornado report from somewhere in the Sacramento Valley today. Post-event, so tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, weather will still be kind of active, but later this week, we'll say Friday, the Weather Service would then send a team out to where the tornado was reported and see if they can find any damage, if they can get any pictures or video and some different angles of the potential tornado, because they have to confirm it as a tornado. They can't just look at it on radar or look at it via someone's picture that they send in. They actually have to go out and try to confirm that this is a tornado, and then they can rate it on the enhanced Fujita scale. So there's a whole process that goes on here, but that's just a little bit of detail. But I also want to say we're not really all that unfamiliar with the tornado risk here, especially in the valley, because since 1970, look at this, San Joaquin County seeing 17 confirmed tornadoes, Sacramento County 15 confirmed tornadoes, by far Fresno County the highest in the valley with 27 confirmed tornadoes since 1970, but Butte County 17, Glenn, Tehama, both about 10 confirmed tornadoes there. Even Yolo County, 4 confirmed. So we see these. We don't see them often per se. It's not like we live in Tornado Alley and we've got tornadoes all the time, but we definitely have that chance, usually once, maybe twice a year, where we could see some of these storms start to spin. I do want to touch on the wind, though. Kind of last thing here, wind advisory in effect for the rest of the daytime today into the overnight hours as well, because we are seeing some pretty gusty winds, regardless of the storm. If we see thunderstorms form, we could get wind gusts 40, 50, maybe 60 miles per hour. If you don't see a thunderstorm, just kind of that general rest of the Northern California area, the rest of the atmosphere, seeing winds at the surface sustained about 20 miles per hour, but gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. And you can see that there. That continues through the evening hours. It does start to taper off by about 7 o'clock. And as we go through the overnight hours, that's when it finally dies down. And then tomorrow morning, that wind advisory expires. A little breezy tomorrow. We have another chance for some thunderstorms tomorrow as well, but it will stay below that severe category tomorrow. The puzzle pieces just aren't quite as good for that severe weather tomorrow. But today, all of the necessary ingredients for thunderstorms and for strong thunderstorms are there, which is why I got to say one more time, make sure you've got a way to receive weather warnings. Today could be the ABC 10 app. We've got a live radar on there that you can manipulate and look around. You can turn on the notifications and sign up for those weather alerts for where you live, anywhere in Northern California, or even not in California. We can give you alerts elsewhere. By the time we get to Wednesday, things start to taper off, just a few showers at that point. Thursday, we really start to dry out. Friday, we are mostly sunny, and highs are going to be in those middle 60s, a little bit above average for the time of year. Saturday looks pretty nice too, 65 degrees, and then we got another chance of showers returning by the time we get to Sunday and Monday as well. But really, that main story today is the severe weather. So I'll say it one more time. Thanks for watching, and be sure to be weather aware this afternoon.